When it comes to women and flying, the name Amelia Earhart stands out above the others. In June of 1928, Earhart became a pioneer when she flew across the Atlantic Ocean. Almost 10 years later, tragedy struck when the famed aviator's plane mysteriously disappeared over the Pacific in a history-making attempt to fly around the world. Still, Earhart paved the way for women in a male-dominated field. Most industries have made significant strides when it comes to attracting women. Yet in the aviation industry, only 6% of the nation's pilots are female, something the women in this Air Race Classic hope to change. In celebration of Earhart's transatlantic flight, women from across the country competed in the 39th annual Air Race Classic. Pilots flew 2,400 miles, beginning in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and ending in Fairhope, Alabama. Pit stops included North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Missouri, and Tennessee.
We have 53 airplanes. We have 117 women pilots. Several of the airplanes have a passenger, a team member that sits in the back and helps. We've increased the number of pilots that come in the last 10 years from 30-something to having to turn away people at 55. So the race is still growing, it's still alive, there's just a lot going on.
The original idea for an all-female race came just a year after Earhart's celebrated flight, a time when women were forbidden to race against their male counterparts.
The original all-women's air race was in 1929. It ran from Santa Monica to Cleveland. There were 23 stops on that race because the airplanes back there could only go 100 miles before they had to put down in repairs and gas, bathroom, whatever it was. So the fact that the first all-women's air race included Amelia Earhart, yeah, of course she had a part in it.
More than 100 pilots registered this year, which featured a $5,000 top prize.
It's the biggest number of first-time racers that we've seen. We've got 60 racers that this is the first time they've ever done it. Normally we'd have considerably less than that. So this is a huge group of new racers, not just collegiate, but across the board. Oldest one is in her 80s, youngest one is a teenager.
Just before takeoff, CBN News met up with first-time racers Rebecca Davidson and Jovita Perez-Segovia, the Texas Tailwinds.
I'm kind of getting to honor the first women that were in aviation, Amelia Earhart and the group of women that started the Air Derby, so really going back to the roots when women first got into this kind of thing and being able to honor that tradition and show that women are still very much involved in aviation and have a lot to contribute.
I think events like this are great for young ladies to see that, hey, you can go do this too.
The pair trained at Laterno University, a Christian college in Texas, where they learned about integrating faith into their careers and life.
I've kind of learned more of who I am, who God is, and how all this relates to everything. As much as I love airplanes, it's good to be at a place that prioritizes God and relationships and things like that above airplanes.
It's awesome that Laterno University specifically has provided opportunities to grow personally, and then you just have professors and mentors that encourage you and continue to grow your faith.
A quick demo revealed the skills of the recent aviation grads, who admitted the challenges of learning to fly.
When I was a student pilot, when I was first starting out, I was really struggling coming up to where I was getting my certificate.
The most challenging course for me through my flight training so far was my instrument training, pushing forward and just praying about it.
They also faced obstacles crossing the finish line. At the end of the 4-day race, they came in 27th place. While they didn't win, they're grateful for the experience, which has taught them lessons about life in and out of the sky.
I feel happy that we just completed it, especially with a lot of these great women pilots around here. We're just happy we made it to the end with them. We're really happy with what we did.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News, Fairhope, Alabama.